The atmosphere in the ITV studio was electric as Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, stepped onto the set of Lorraine, her first appearances on the popular morning show hosted by the beloved Lorraine Kelly. Dressed in a chic, cream-colored blazer and skirt, Meghan exuded poise, her smile warm but cautious, aware of the scrutiny that followed her every public move. The audience, a mix of loyal viewers and curious newcomers, erupted in applause, their excitement palpable as Lorraine welcomed Meghan with her signature warmth, calling her a breath of fresh air. The interview began on safe ground, with Meghan discussing her Netflix series with Love, Meghan, her lifestyle brand as ever, and her work with the Archewell Foundation. Her responses were measured, peppered with anecdotes about hosting friends in Montecito and her passion for empowering women through entrepreneurship. Lorraine nodded encouragingly, praising Meghan's lovely energy, and the crowd clapped, seemingly charmed. But the tone shifted when Lorraine, known for her candid style, steered the conversation toward Meghan's past, referencing her 2022 The Cut interview, which Lorraine had previously called utterly bizarre for its candid revelations about royal life. The audience sensed the pivot, their murmurs growing as Lorraine asked, "Meghan, you've been open about your struggles with the royals, but some say you're still stirring the pot. Any regrets about how public you've been?" Meghan's smile tightened, her hands clasping together as she leaned forward. "Lorraine, I've always spoken my truth to help others feel seen," she said, her voice steady but with an edge. "I don't regret standing up for what's right, but I'm focused on building, not dwelling on the past." The audience murmured, some nodding in support, others whispering skeptically. Lorraine, undeterred, pressed further, her tone playful but pointed. "Sure, but that jam business and the Netflix show, some say it's a beat a broken bar, well, performative, like you're trying to be the next Martha Stewart. What do you say to that?" The question, laced with a nod to critics who called Meghan's ventures out of touch, drew gasps from the crowd. Meghan's eyes narrowed, and she replied, "I'm not trying to be anyone but myself, Lorraine. It's disappointing to hear you frame it that way." The tension was palpable, the studio air thickening as Lorraine tried to lighten the mood with a laugh, saying, "Oh, come on, Meghan, it's just a wee bit of fun." But Meghan wasn't smiling, her posture stiffening as she countered, "It's not fun when it's reductive. I came here to talk about my work, not to be mocked." The audience fell silent, caught between shock and anticipation, as the exchange veered toward confrontation. The breaking point came when Lorraine, perhaps sensing the need to keep the show moving, doubled down with a quip about Meghan's use of her HRH title on a gift basket sent to a podcast host, a move that had sparked controversy. "That HRH card caused quite a stir," Lorraine said, her eyebrows raised. "Are you holding on to the royal title for clout, or is it just a habit?" The audience gasped, a few clapping nervously, as Meghan's face darkened. "That's unfair, Lorraine," she said, her voice rising with controlled fury. "Harry and I have been clear about our choices, and I won't sit here while you twist it into something it's not." The crowd erupted in a mix of cheers and murmurs, some shouting "Go, Meghan," while others whispered about her defensiveness. Lorraine, visibly taken aback, tried to pivot, saying, "Let's move on to your charity work," but Meghan was done. "No, I'm not doing this," she said, standing abruptly, her chair scraping loudly. "I didn't come here to be disrespected." She tore off her mic, tossed it onto the couch, and stormed off the set, leaving Lorraine stunned and the audience in chaos. As producers rushed to cut to a commercial break, Lorraine muttered, "Well, that's a first." Her face flushed as the cameras panned away. Backstage, the mood was frenetic as Meghan's team surrounded her in a green room, their voices a mix of reassurance and urgency. Meghan paced, her hands trembling with adrenaline, her phone buzzing with messages from Harry and close friends like Serena Williams. "I'm tired of this," she said, her voice thick with frustration. "I came to talk about my work, not to be ambushed." Her team urged her to see the walkout as a stand against media bias, but Meghan was conflicted, aware that the incident would fuel weeks of tabloid headlines. Outside, the studio audience was abuzz, some chanting her name in solidarity, others gossiping about her dramatic exit. Social media erupted, with ex-posts dissecting the clash, Clips of Meghan's mic drop going viral under hashtags like #MeghanWalksOut and #Lorraine vs Meghan. Fans praised her for refusing to tolerate Lorraine's snark, while critics called her too fragile for live TV, echoing sentiments from her Netflix show's mixed reviews. News outlets pounced, with headlines screaming Meghan Markle kicked off Lorraine Kelly show after explosive row, and Duchess storms out in live TV meltdown. The narrative was muddied by conflicting reports, some claiming Lorraine had kicked Meghan off for disrupting the show, others saying Meghan left voluntarily, amplifying the drama. Lorraine, a seasoned host known for her down-to-earth charm, faced an unexpected crisis. In the production booth, her team scrambled to manage the fallout, aware that the incident could tarnish her reputation as a kind-hearted presenter. Lorraine had misjudged Meghan's threshold, assuming her playful jabs would be taken in stride, but the personal digs at her royal title and lifestyle brand had crossed the line. When the show resumed, Lorraine addressed the audience with a wry smile. "Well, folks, that got a bit heated. We wish Meghan all the best with her projects." The crowd clapped politely, but the apology felt forced, and ex-users were quick to call it out, with one post reading, "Lorraine's fake sorry isn't fooling anyone. She baited Meghan for ratings." Behind the scenes, ITV executives were reportedly livid, fearing backlash from Meghan's global fanbase, while others saw the viral moment as a ratings boon. Lorraine's team fielded calls from tabloids, with some speculating she'd been instructed to provoke Meghan, a claim ITV denied. The clash reignited debates about Lorraine's past comments on Meghan, like her 2017 critique of her Vanity Fair interview, where she'd questioned Meghan's privacy claims, adding fuel to accusations of bias. The incident became a global talking point, dominating morning shows, podcasts, and op-eds as commentators dissected every angle. Meghan's supporters hailed her walkout as a defiant stand against media sensationalism, with one ex-post declaring, "Meghan didn't let Lorraine bully her, respect." Others saw it as an overreaction, arguing that Meghan should have expected tough questions on a show known for its candid chats. "She can't handle a bit of British banter," one critic sniped on Sky News, echoing sentiments from Lorraine's defense of her style. The clash also sparked renewed scrutiny of Meghan's public image, with some outlets recycling narratives about her being difficult or out of touch, while others praised her for defending her integrity. The royal angle intensified, with royal experts speculating about the impact on Meghan's strained ties with the monarchy, especially after her HRH title controversy. The palace remained silent, but sources hinted at disappointment over Meghan's impulsive exit, while Harry reportedly called her from Montecito, urging her to focus on their shared goals. The incident cast a shadow over Meghan's As Ever brand launch, with critics questioning whether she could sustain her ventures amid such drama. Lorraine faced her own reckoning, with some viewers accusing her of bullying Meghan, a charge she'd faced before and dismissed with a kiss emoji on social media. Her supporters argued that she was simply doing her job, asking the questions viewers wanted answered, and pointed to her history of defending Meghan, like when she called the royal family's treatment of her horrible. Lorraine took to X, boasting, "Tough day on the show, but we keep it real," wishing Meghan well. The response drew mixed reactions, with some praising her professionalism, others calling it a cop-out. Behind closed doors, sources claimed Lorraine reached out to Meghan's team with an apology, but no public reconciliation followed. The clash prompted broader discussions about daytime TV's reliance on provocative moments, with commentators noting a shift toward gentler formats like podcasts. For Lorraine, the incident was a rare misstep in her 40-year career, but it didn't dent her ratings. The next episode of Lorraine saw a viewership spike, proof that controversy sells. The incident also drew comparisons to past TV clashes, like Piers Morgan's storm-off over Meghan, highlighting the media's obsession with her every move. In Montecito, Meghan and Harry regrouped, strategizing their next steps as the media storm raged on. Meghan was shaken but resolute, viewing the walkout as a necessary stand against a narrative that painted her as the villain. "I'm not here to be a punching bag," she told friends, who revealed she was doubling down on her Netflix and As Ever projects to prove her critics wrong. The couple issued a statement through Arch Ewell, reaffirming their commitment to authenticity and impact without mentioning the clash directly. On X, Meghan's fans rallied, with posts like "Lorraine tried to humiliate Meghan, and she shut it down, Queen." But detractors were equally vocal, with one user writing, "Meghan can't take the heat. If you go on TV, expect tough questions." The incident fueled debates about Meghan's authenticity, with critics like her half-brother Thomas Markle Jr. resurfacing to call her Netflix show embarrassing, a sentiment echoed by some viewers who found it dull. Yet her supporters pointed to the show's positive reception among fans, with one tweeting, "With love, Meghan is delightful. Haters just can't stand her shine." The clash also spotlighted the broader media landscape, where women like Meghan are often pitted against each other, a theme Lorraine herself had criticized in discussions about Meghan and Kate Middleton's supposed jam war. Commentators noted the double standards, with one op-ed arguing, if a male royal walked off, it'd be called bold. With Meghan, it's a tantrum. The incident drew parallels to other confrontations, like rumored clashes on The Kelly Clarkson Show or Live with Kelly and Mark, though those lacked credible evidence. For Meghan, the walkout was a gamble that boosted her visibility but risked alienating mainstream audiences. Her as ever brand saw a surge in interest, with fans snapping up her jam despite Lorraine's Life's Too Short dig. In Hollywood, the incident sparked talk of a shift toward more authentic platforms, with stars like Gwyneth Paltrow defending Meghan's ventures as fair competition. The clash underscored the tightrope Meghan walked as a public figure, balancing advocacy with relentless scrutiny, her every move magnified by a media hungry for drama. Weeks later, the Lorraine clash remained a cultural flashpoint, a symbol of the fraught relationship between Meghan and the media. Polls showed a slight uptick in her UK support among younger viewers, who admired her courage to call out Lorraine, but her critics doubled down, with tabloids branding her oversensitive. Lorraine, meanwhile, leaned into her keep it real persona, hosting lighter segments to distance herself from the controversy, though her past swipes at Meghan, like calling her podcast boring, resurfaced, fueling accusations of bias. ITV stood by her, with executives praising her 40-year contribution to TV, as evidenced by her 2024 BAFTA Special Award. The incident prompted soul-searching in the industry, with hosts like Kelly Clarkson and Drew Barrymore emphasizing empathy in their interviews, a subtle rebuke of Lorraine's approach. On X, memes of Meghan's mic drop and Lorraine's stunned expression proliferated, while think pieces explored the intersection of race, gender, and power in the clash. For Meghan, the walkout became a defining moment, reinforcing her image as a defiant trailblazer while highlighting the challenges of navigating a media landscape that thrives on conflict. She and Harry focused on their next moves, with Meghan teasing a second season of her Netflix show in new podcast episodes. Undeterred by the backlash, the clash also reignited discussions about the monarchy's treatment of the Sussexes, with some fans citing Lorraine's questions as proof of the negative press Harry had decried in his Oprah interview. As the dust settled, the incident stood as a testament to Meghan's resilience and the media's unrelenting fascination with her. Whether seen as a hero or a diva, Meghan emerged stronger, her walkout a bold reminder that she would not be silenced. For Lorraine, it was a lesson in the risks of pushing too far, a rare blemish on a storied career, but one that only amplified her show's spotlight. The world watched, waiting for Meghan's next chapter, as she continued to carve her path, unapologetically herself.